Leave my daughter alone. Leave her alone, do you hear?
An incredible story. He's a beastly sadist, a devil that follows man wherever he goes.
The vampire's only a legend of this place.
A legend that's converted into chilling realism. It's not important that Dracula's carnal body is destroyed. Wherever blood flows, Dracula is ever present to punish horror with horror. A love story of good and evil, of life and death. Behind each kiss hides a horror of terrifying realism, 1,000 times worse than death itself. A satanical ritual that marks the rebirth of Dracula. The Prince of Evil will not acquire his full power until a virgin falls in love with the vampire. Constant action that suspends you with fright. Something that will make you feel the pleasure of fear. You won't be able to breathe after a terrifying scene because the next is more horrifying than the one before.
Dracula's back to punish horror with Horin in Count Dracula's Great Love, our second feature on tonight's book.
It's satanical, not satanic. It's satanical. Oh.
Yeah, I'd like to have a discussion about the difference between satanic and satanical, but
that's Spanish for satanic.
Wow. It's an exciting concept.
Oh my God. I'm so excited for this movie after that trailer. That's what it should do. It should make you that excited.
This movie is really fun to talk about. The second one. I know we got to talk more about Vengeance of the Zombies. We have to ditch on Vengeance of the Zombies. But Count Dracula's Great Love is just bizarre. A total mind fuck. For me, anyway.
It's another tonight's theme is Paul Naschy has an army of women that will kill you in slow motion. Or make you run away and leave one of your friends to die. Either way, he's going to do it. How about there was like some soap opera drama of who was the person screwing around with voodoo? Who was the one that was who was the traitor to voodoo? And we found out, and the women were like, "We're not having this anymore."
I know there was a rebellion.
Yeah. How about? Really, as I said, you're going to be hard pressed to find more fashionable zombies. And Bill pointed out when we were watching it, they're the anti-Italian Gothic. They're in black diaphanous gowns.
That's how you know they're dead, because apparently they were buried in black shrouds and in black lace panties.
Yeah, exactly.
And nothing
and
else.
They're like, can you imagine their families when they were buried? Their families came and they're like, well, I'm sure glad that they were topless, wearing lace panties and a negligee. That's
well,
cool.
I think the implication is that these women never had the chance to be buried correctly because they were murdered by these people who just immediately turned them into zombies. Like, okay, but what are the rules about this zombieism? Like, why are their bodies not really decaying all that much? Why do they look so new?
Their faces are getting gray. That's about it. Their faces get a. What'd you say? Yeah, no Botox, Becca said. So that's what happens. They, the rest of their bodies, though.
Roger said, "Did we watch this at the Riverside?" I don't remember.
Count Dracula's Great Love did play the Riverside. Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about the different colored gowns they have. Where, like, they woke up that day, they're like, "I want to be the peach one today."
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the light powder puff blue.
Yeah. Both these movies are a blast. I love the credit music in Vengeance of the Zombies. It suddenly gets like bam, bam, bam. It's like, hey, it's over. Let's see all the people that were in it. And it gets like super fun. Meanwhile, the whole movie's been harrowing. But, yes. Mark Dockham said you were right, Becca. 100% gold. She said, yep. Becca loved this when we watched it. Usually she never comments on movies that I watch during the day. And she said, this is really good. She said, I really like this. I think it's because there's some fashion in it and gold-skinned people.
Yeah, this movie had something to say.
Yeah.
it was
for the now generation.
Skin.
It's speaking to the kids.
I really dig this movie. I would have been disappointed if I had gone to see it as Walk of the Dead. And that's because there's nothing in it. But I have to say they do make an attempt to get some graphic gore going, and it's totally unconvincing. Like that axe to the face. Oh, it was so cheesy.
I like the head, just like she's like, "Excuse me," and then the head just goes and just falls off.
That was a great effect. I thought.
Yeah.
I was expecting it, but not as gruesome as it was. Like it was still partially attached. Yeah, that was really disturbing.
Yeah.
Only voodoo could do something like that.
Only voodoo can bring you this movie. Voodoo comes out in this movie like the coolest religion. You know what I mean? You watch this and you're like, it's pretty rad. And also like how, again, you've said it before. What does voodoo have to do with Indian mysticism?
I still miss the point.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank you,
sorry. This
Saul.
is like the third or fourth time that I watched this movie, and I still couldn't tell you how they're connected. But
It's like if the
thanks,
Beatles went
Saul.
to meet the Maharishi and he was like, "I will turn you into the living dead." I love that this ad for I have all the best Italian monsters in the ads for my podcast. Thank you. Wow, this Dr. Freudenstein even showed up. He was going, "Ugh," just breathing hard. How about
That weird.
that chicken getting killed Frank brings up? They were like,
Yeah,
they're like, you know what? Uh, let's just kill a chicken. Like, fuck it. Let's do it.
it was Spain's Pink Flamingos.
Yeah, it is. And Naschy 3 roles in this, and it's got some Satanism in it. It's really got everything that you want. Though that scene when they were in the police office, I started laughing because I was like, "What if I did see this as Walk of the Dead? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why am I like this movie is not? I just saw Dawn of the Dead last week, and this movie is not Dawn of the Dead at all. But
Yeah, it's a terrible movie to put up against something like Dawn of the Dead or even
yeah,
any other zombie movie. Because,
yeah,
like we said, like zombie movies were kind of starting to die off for a while there before Dawn, and there was like Hallmark put out Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, and they totally buried the fact that it was about zombies and called it Don't Open the Window and made it look
yeah,
like Last House on the Left or something.
yeah.
But then, along comes Dawn, and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, let's take this old zombie movie and put it out again. Maybe no one will know.
They did it.
It's absolutely despicable.
But awesome.
Not really.
I love it. I the fact that like, and it's also on the bill with so many movies that are retitled. That's what it's all about.
You could lose your mind.
You could,
I'm
and
living proof.
yeah, you're like if they were to do a PSA, you'd be like, I lost my mind trying to figure out all the different titles for these movies. Please help me. Send a donation to groovydoom@gmail.com. Any dollar amount will do, and we'll put you on the show next week. But hey, how about our second feature that is coming up? As you said, this movie's bonkers too. Count Dracula's Great Love.
Yeah. Wow. This one is just one of those things that I still look at. I've been doing this Facebook page and this crawl through city after city, looking at I look at the ads pretty much chronologically. And when this one comes around, I always get a special thrill because it's one of those movies that you're like, first of all, like we said for the first movie, to put this up against contemporary horror films in the late
Yeah,
70s, this was already extremely archaic,
yeah.
this kind of thing. And yet they were remarketed, repackaged, and they were put out there almost as sex films.
Yeah.
It was a total sexploitation ad campaign that they designed for this, and it was supposed to be, scandalous because it was European.
I
So it
my
was
re-
kind of like a porn film almost.
I wrote that this movie takes place in a world where someone can fall down the steps for hours. All women dressed like Disney princesses, and a girl can step on a bear trap and barely get a scratch. If you're
This is
ready
the
for that,
ridiculous Paul Naschy. I mean,
yeah.
a lot of it was ridiculous, but this is probably one of his most ridiculous movies, and yet
Oh,
it's so good. Like it doesn't matter that it's ridiculous. I'm so into his imagery, the interpretation of older films like the Universal monster cliches, and I do think he was imitating other people, but he was also inventing. I think because he had this
yeah.
vision. All these movies have basically the same plot, and
He made 4 movies the same year. He made this the same year as Vengeance of the Zombies. He also made Curse of the Devil and Hunchback of the Morgue, all in the same year. He was nothing if not busy.
I have to show off my T-shirt again.
Yes.
I came dressed for the occasion tonight for the Paul Naschy double feature. Ta-da!
Uh, and I like in this, like Dracula's kind of like, do I have to keep up this life? Meanwhile, his life is being surrounded by 4 gorgeous vampire women that just kill people. It doesn't
I
seem like,
know.
maybe after a couple hundred years it gets boring. It doesn't. Maybe I'm naive to the vampire game, but it seems like. And then he has to find a virgin that loves him so that he can die.
Remember the
Okay.
Hammer films went that way too
Yeah.
with their Dracula character, because in the last one, or the next to the last one, he had the plague virus and he was going to kill all of humankind, which would of course render him dead also.
Yeah.
Because Dracula had fucking had enough of it. Okay.
I like that
He's
Dracula's
tired of
become a
this.
James Bond villain in the last one. He's like, he has a whole army of people, and it's like, okay.
Because Dracula can't even die. I
No.
mean, it's as soon as he dies, even if he wanted to be dead, someone's always bringing him back from the dead. I'd be pissed too. He's probably like, can you just leave me the fuck alone? Don't
I've
don't pour blood on my bones
no.
300 years from now.
I love Dracula AD 72 though, because it's 1972. Because it's fun. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I really like it because it's like, it's wild, and
Why
it's
are
like,
people so sourpuss about that one?
I think because it's not in continuity, because the past like doesn't match up with the other movies, and why would he come? Like,
Oh,
it's dumb that he comes to our time. Like, so what?
where else were they gonna go with that series?
I you know I don't know. No, Frank has requested you go shirtless for the Paul Naschy tribute.
Maybe on the third segment.
Yeah, let's see how the third segment goes.
Definitely not on the second segment, but Frank Palvino, if you ask me, eventually I'm going to say yes.
That feels like a pledge drive for donations in a future
I
episode.
know.
Yeah,
It's
what?
like an OnlyFans.
Yeah, it'll
but
be
no
like the
one will
ALS
hunt.
challenge. Like, the Ice Bucket challenge will be like, Bill, for Frank said he'll donate $10 if you take your shirt off. Like, oh, I don't know. It's that kind of
Naschy
show now.
looked great shirtless.
Yeah.
I know he like kind of he has a very oddly shaped, odd shape to his body,
Yeah.
and it's just so, I don't know. I think he's like so hot. There's
Yeah.
something really super hot about him to me.
He's
And
confident. I think it's that.
yeah, like he loves the way he looks, because he was always showing it off in movies, and he always scripted movies where there were at least 2 or 3 chicks that would want to go to bed with him.
And his wife was like there on all his movies. Like, she was like, and she's like, he's doing great.
He
Okay.
was. He
Yeah.
totally was, because like that's the shit I wanted to see
Yeah.
when I was discovering him.
Yeah. Like,
It was
what if
years after the movies were new, but
yeah,
yeah.
like, who is watching these movies to see Paul Naschy in a bathtub? I've read some people say, and I instantly think, well,
Mhm.
Bill is, yeah. Like, cool.
I love that scene. They knew.
Yeah.
They knew who was watching.
They totally did. I love a lot of people are talking about the jazz music in this movie being a choice. I love it. I think it's wild. Like, and also when Bill mentioned when the zombie girls, when they fall down, like the music kind of gets cut off in that scene too. It's
Oh
great.
no, it sounded like
Yeah.
a cassette that got eaten
Yeah.
while you're listening to it. It would start going. They just did that with the tape
Oh,
on the soundtrack to make that effect. It was cute.
I love it. I
And I
love the
loved when
girl
he
all
woke up
in
from, remember when he was in a stupor and he
yeah.
woke up and like they had that shit in front of the lens to make it look like he couldn't see her, but it just looked like, I don't know, like hair being dragged across the lens.
I like just we talked about the dream sequence where she gets her throat cut. That happens in so many Paul Naschy movies to the point that it might be a fetish. You
I'm
know?
serious. I've seen it in so many. I know you have too.
Yeah. And I love that, like, that they're like, you know what? This would work really well if Satan showed up. We already have a Maharishi kind of guy, and we have an evil version of him that's burned. What about the devil? Um, let's do it. I love it. So
That was nutty. I love how over the top it was. As soon as
oh,
they had that like groovy pentagram, but I was like, oh my god, it has like a a heavy metalloid satanic altar. I'll take
Becca
it.
said the best part of that scene is that like they're like, hey, we don't have a chair for you, so just sit on this crate. And meanwhile, everything else is like super satanic around her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they all the money went to paint a woman gold. And that's where it all went. So expensive.
Yeah, the choreography was something to see.
Well, if you slow it down enough, it looks fine. If you slow it down to a crawl, that's what we're looking for.
They were definitely in the same class as those vampire chicks from Night of the Sorcerers.
Yeah.
The ones that turn into leopards and then they turn into chicks and then they turn into vampire women.
I gotta tell you, I think about that movie so much.
Me too.
I think about it all the time. Hey, Pamela. Pamela says hello. She missed us. Wasn't feeling good the last couple of weeks. Welcome back.
Hello. Hi, Pamela. And thanks to everyone else for hanging out with us too. We got 31 people watching.
Oh
so
man, that's awesome.
Pretty good.
Yeah. But super excited. I'm glad everybody seemed to enjoy it. I am super excited for Count Dracula's Great Love, though, Bill, because this suggests a romance that we'll be seeing.
This is a fashion show that we're going to be seeing. And these people, like Roger said earlier in the chat, they're impossibly dressed.
Yeah.
It's just like they're supposed to be on the road, if I'm not mistaken, in this film. It's like, we broke down on the Borgo Pass. Wonder who lives here.
There's a lot of Naschy movie. That's a Naschy plot thing where it's like, let's go to this castle and let's see who's there. And he's like, oh,
let's
my choice of women. Yeah, stay the night. And he always has like his pick of women, but there's one who's more important than the others to him. And it's a doomed love affair.
Well, that's hard to conceive of now. The way that people would break down and then spend the night in a strange place. But it wasn't like they had lit roadways back then. It would have been difficult for them to travel at night, probably.
Did Paul Naschy invent the Airbnb?
They're not going to find that shit in the Carpathians. I'm just at least not where Dracula lives.
No.
They're not accepting any exchange students there.
Yeah, not at all. Oh, you know what though? I don't care how often you use the plot device. Our car's broken down or we're lost and we're going to stay overnight at your castle. It works for me every time. I accept it. I accept this plot device. Show me what happens next.
Yeah. Dracula's Great Love was kind of like one of those Holy Grail movies for me because it was not easy to see. They didn't show this on TV, or if they did, I never saw it. And as a Naschy fan, I think for a while this was difficult to find.
Yeah. That's why I was so excited when it played I saw the drive-in for the first time.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah. So I was super excited to see it.
Do you remember the first time that Paul Naschy entered your sphere of consciousness?
This maybe Famous Monsters I read about him, or Fangoria maybe. And just the idea of like how many different characters he played in movies that always like kind of thrilled me.
Yeah, I kind of remember him from TV from when I was a little kid, and I was like staying up real late watching stuff on late night TV, and Fury of the Wolfman was on. And I used to watch it all the time, like every single time I would find it on television, because I remember that it had like love scenes in it with this dude, this shirtless dude. And I was like, whoa. And then I think I must have seen another Paul Naschy movie on TV too, because probably Werewolf versus Vampire Woman, which I know they showed on TV at least once or twice. And I saw that and I'm like, it's that same dude from Fury of the Wolfman.
Oh.
I started to put it together. It's like
and
late
Dustin,
night.
This was an Elvira episode too. So that's
you
may have seen Elvira introduce it.
I never did personally. Did
No.
you? Were you able to watch Elvira?
No, I wasn't. No, just the videotapes when they came out later. My video store had them, so that's where I kind of I knew her. I first saw her in like the beer commercials, actually more than movies. Do you know what I mean? When they had the haunted Halloween kind of commercials. Oh hey,
Look what I found.
oh
It's your
yeah,
vacation pics.
yeah. We were right there. It is so interesting to be like in the exact place. Becca's gonna join me. She's coming right here so she can offer.
Oh,
to the-
hi.
Yeah, there she is. But it's so weird to watch. We actually watched Children of the Corn right there, where the flagpole is where we watched the movie. And so seeing it on the same buildings on the screen while you're watching it was pretty amazing. Yeah, they had the screen tied to that flagpole that you can see there with the yellow under it. Becca was trying to peel some paint off it, but they had just repainted it. She was trying to find something to take from the town as a souvenir. But yeah, that's right. The bottom shot is right where we watched the movie, and we got they had hot dogs in that building that you can see there. Hot dogs and drinks.
I bet they were delicious.
Yeah, Whiting, Iowa. People are very friendly, and there's Becca in front of one of Job and Sarah's house from the movie, which is fixed up a little bit, but it's right there. You can pull up and take a picture, and it's a little disconcerting because you're like, I've seen this movie a whole bunch of times. But yeah, there's Becca in front of it, which is very nice. And there is the autograph we got uh, from John Philbin, who plays who's he? Amos in the movie, who showed up, and he had a very nice speech. He said, he was in a few movies and he never really made it big. He was in Point Break as well, and he always thought he was a failure. And then when he started doing conventions, people told him how much the movie meant to him. And he goes, "Well, I actually kind of did something." And he said, "Now I'm." Yeah, he said horror is very important to him now, and he felt very pleased and happy, like now to have been in these movies. So very nice guy. So pretty cool autograph. There's me in front of the hotel from the beginning of the movie, and
Love the shirt.
thank you. And that has really barely been updated. So it's painted, but that's about it. When you see the movie, that's literally all that's changed. But that's right from the beginning. And we ate at Pizza Ranch right behind it, which is an all-you-can-eat pizza place. And it had a child door that I walked into, so it was pretty rad.
Pizza Ranch.
Yeah, yeah, CC's with chicken. Imagine.
Wow.
Yeah, wonderful. So yeah, and there's John Philbin with us. Nice picture of him, and he is 63 years old. Does not look 63 at all. He's in tremendous shape. He's a surfer still. Talked about how much he still loves to surf. So Point Break was the best role for him because basically he got to surf in Hawaii and get paid for it. Yeah, yeah. He.
Oh, I love that corn shirt that
Oh yeah,
Becca has on.
isn't that awesome? There is a ton of corn around where.
That's all there is.
That's all there is. Yeah,
Corn.
it's exactly like
No shortage.
no shortage of corn.
Corn.
Yep.
What's corn? Yeah, I'm hungry now too.
Yeah.
So,
And there are some
what's this?
other scenes of the streets from the movie, but that's today. And they actually had the main street closed off the traffic so we could watch the movie on the main street, which is pretty rad. And there is the flagpole and a sign that says, obviously, welcome to
You can
Gatland.
see how the screen was tied to the
Yeah.
pole
There's the screen that was tied to the pole
Oh yeah.
to watch the movie.
to watch the movie. So yeah, it's pretty neat. There are Becca.
Oh.
There's us in the cornfield.
I said we have to get one picture with actual corn.
Yeah,
And you live to tell.
we live to
did.
tell. We're both sunburned there, as you can tell too.
It's only like 97 degrees.
Yeah,
You got too close to he who walks behind the rose.
Yep.
and it scorched your skin.
It did. And there's us with the sign right in the front of town, which is really cool. They had walking tours of the town as well, and the guy who's making a documentary about Children of the Corn was there to tell a lot of facts about the movie, and almost everybody in the whole town that was an extra showed up and was doing was talking about their experience. Yeah, some of the people still live there, and there were a lot of child actors from Omaha that were in it as well. So really fun, and it's only about 35 minutes, 45 minutes, did you say, from Omaha? So nice drive, and Whiting, Iowa, and who knew we'd ever have such a good time in Iowa, but we did. So
see,
yeah, that was oh, and here are some images of the different copies of the movie that they had out from all over the world, different languages, different sizes, different formats. And as you can see in the middle, there's the video of the first when there's a 20-minute version or 30-minute version of the movie that came out. It's one of the Stephen King dollar movies that came out before Children of the Corn. And
we made sure to say U of M grad Steve King.
Yeah, we said it as soon as the movie started. Is this by U of M grad Steve King?
You know, that guy that went to U of M. He's one of us.
Yeah. And there's another big stack of soundtracks and videos, books from all over the world, which is kind of cool.
All over the world.
And then here are the actual storyboards for the first scene in the movie that they brought. And they had a whole book full of the boards to go through. And they had some of the script pages as well.
And the guy writing the book, he's going to be writing a book on the movie and the filming. The Children of the Corn historian that we met, he got together with a bunch of the actors, and they are going to be auctioning off on his website eventually one of the original drawings, like how they're the children's drawings at the beginning credits. They're going to be auctioning off one of the originals in the next coming months for charity.
Right on.
Yeah, so he had it there with him. It was framed, and we all got to see it in person.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's going to be up for auction soon.
That is one of the call sheets for the day, and it says the rat on it because that's one of the scene that has the rat stunt. Got called out that was the day of the rat. So that's all the people that had to be there for that shooting day. There are a couple pages like that, which I thought was kind of neat to capture.
Wow.
And this is the poster that I love the most. This is a page from Variety, the Corn is King. But I think for us on the bottom of the show, look, Angel still has fabulous legs. And it says how much Angel made on the bottom of the ad. And as soon as I saw Angel, I was like, yeah, I got so excited about it. So pretty cool ad. New World was doing wild there. And these are some of the lobby cards and photos of the cast. There's a German lobby card there for Kinder des Zorns and Children of the Corn.
Zorn rhymes with corn.
Yeah. And there is a shot of all the kids that were in the movie on the set. And there is the screen where we get to see Malachi and the flag right there next to it. So very meta moment to be where a movie was shot, watching the movie that was shot, and on the 40th anniversary of its release too, which was super cool.
That's so cool. I mean, how many people were there? Like, what?
About 100
altogether. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot in that town, obviously. So half the people that were there are locals, and like this is a big deal to them. Like they might not even like horror, but they're just very proud that this movie was filmed there. The other half were people like us that are there, like made a trip to.
Yeah, there are a few people from like New Jersey and.
Yeah, I think we were literally the farthest from like towards the east.
Yeah.
Who made that distance?
Yeah. But he does a ton of these. There right now, he's doing Twister. This weekend is another one he's showing where Twister was shot. I know he does The Prowler. He does Friday the 13th every year. But like Onset Cinema does some really cool stuff. So you know, if you get a chance to go, it's a lot of fun. And
Does Empire Records with our friend Craig Edwards?
yeah, Craig Edwards has done some stuff with them. So it's a really hey, there's Cubby.
We did not take Cubby. We didn't want him to join. Get
Cubby.
eaten by the corn.
No. But
oh yeah, you never know what might happen.
Yeah,
He's short. He could have gotten lost in all that corn.
we were talking next year maybe going because they're going to do a Silver Bullet one, so that is one of Becca's favorite movies. But to go to where Rosemary's Killer was shot, Bill, how cool would that be? You know,
Rosemary's Killer.
Rosemary's
there you
Killer.
go doing it again.
I know.
You mean
Chainsaw Bastard was the best one I used earlier. I was like, you're like, what?
I only talk about Pitchfork Massacre.
Oh man, Pitchfork Massacre, man. But yeah, it was really fun, and they had a lot of cool shirts and stuff for sale. They had some of the scripts for sale. You could buy copies of the script. But yeah, it's neat to celebrate a movie like that and to see it. You know, when are you going to get that experience, like to be around the actual set and then get to tour the whole? They had walking tours of the town, so you could see where different parts of it were filmed and learn how things changed and stuff.
A lot of stuff was torn down. Like
Yeah.
The gas station and the gas station scene, that's not there anymore. A bunch of the barns are gone.
Yeah.
But a lot of like when they're running through the town, it's literally the backs of the buildings on the main street. And how long did he say filming was? It was only a month.
Yeah, about a month. And some actors, especially like John Philbin was there for like 4 days. So, but like a lot of the principals were there a lot longer. Yeah, the person who puts these on is what's his website? On-Site Cinema?
That's Myers House.
Oh, MyersHouseNC.com is his, because he literally built his house to look like Michael Myers' house in North Carolina.
Myers' house.
Yeah. So
and he does movies, and he built a big garage there now, and he has lots of memorabilia at his house, and he has the car from It Follows and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. But Becca's gone to what, 3 of them now. And I've been to 2 of them. She went to the Halloween one that we showed last year. And it's always a good experience. It's neat. The Shining we went to, and The Shining was a blast. So that was fun. So I wish there was one we need to put ones together for Spanish horror movies.
We can go. Where are we going?
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to go to see where Dracula's Great Love was shot. Yeah. Can you guys arrange a screening of Night of the Living Dead in the cemetery it was shot? You should come out to the talk to Gene, but there's a big event every year for that. You can come to Evans City and see the cemetery, which is pretty rad.
I want a Dracula's Great Love experience. I want to be picked up in a coach and driven through the woods to this place, and then we have to pretend to break down and spend the night in this place, and we all have to wear like these pastel pinks and blues, and no one can wear the same color. You're gonna have to pick your color.
Everybody gets to fall.
Bridesmaid dresses from the 70s.
Everybody gets to fall down the steps too. Everybody falls down the steps on the way out of the screening.
You can choose to do that too, but we prefer, that only trained actors.
He will take you on a guided tour.
Yeah, Cubby was born in the same town as Night of the Living Dead, so that's where he's from.
Draw your conclusion.
Yeah. He's like, oh, Jupiter probe. That's where it's from. You think? What do you think? What do you think about Night of the Living Dead? It's all right. All right. Well, anyways, let's take a look at these ads. Oh.
This is from Pittsburgh.
Oh my gosh. I love the type on Vampire's Night Orgy.
I know. I don't know why we didn't screen these 2 movies together, but I think Vampire's Night Orgy isn't online. I'm not sure. Or no, we did that one already.
Yeah.
We already watched that one. Anyway, Pittsburgh, Sunset View Drive-In represent. I saw a lot of drive-in movies at the Sunset View in Natrona Heights. Did not see this one. I was too young. This was 1974. When this played the States.
Wow, that's a beautiful ad. The Preston always impresses, though, right?
These ads from the Preston in Louisville, Kentucky, were just amazing.
Do you think there was just a fan of horror that worked at the Preston?
I don't know. It was the whole design was really sensational
Yeah.
of the movie section. They were really hard selling it, whereas in a lot of cities it was just it all looks gorgeous to me when I see it like a scan of a newspaper. But yeah, these ones in particular, there are certain cities like Texas is another place that had fantastic ads in their movie section, and it was for like not it was for off the beaten track stuff. It wasn't like the big movies. They really highlighted this exploitation.
Mm, I love this.
See, they're both movies about spending the night
Yeah. Stay the night. It's all right.
in places that you should know better than to spend the night.
Yeah, come
But
on.
instead
Dracula's
you
there.
do. Yeah.
Oh, the Thunderbird, another favorite. For lovers of blood, the horror begins early at 6:45.
Yeah. It must have been winter.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I really dig this one.
I love the ransom note-esque nature of this
Yeah.
with all these different fonts thrown together.
There's even like courier, typewriter.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. You have the choice between cinema, like high-end cinema, and Eurosleeves if you come to this drive-in.
Well, you could go on both nights.
Yeah, exactly.
You go try out the other screen the next night.
Yeah.
Oh.
This must, yeah, you're right about the time of year because in-car heaters is pushed in all these ads. Open all winter, spring mill.
You could stay open if you were a drive-in. You could stay open all winter in the 70s, but like towards the end of
Oh,
the 70s, this was, the beginning of the end.
yeah.
Oh, I put this up on the wrong one. This is Cemetery Girls.
Yeah. That's
Let's get back to Pittsburgh with Dracula's Great Love. Look at all the places that it played.
Hollywood Theater, soon to be reopened in September.
And the North Hills on McKnight Road.
Wow. That's
I
amazing.
think that's the one that eventually now it's like it's a Staples.
Yeah. Let's not talk about this sadness.
I saw Fantasia at that Staples
Oh,
when it was the McKnight Cinema.
wow.
The Thirsty Dead,
Wow.
Vampires Night. This is a true orgy of films.
Yeah.
Because look at all that's going on here.
For $2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saul Ives, do you have copies of the ads? It seems like you have them all.
Oh no. I mean, these are all like from archives, from online archives.
Yeah.
They're not my newspapers.
This is a amazing night at the movies, though.
Yeah. Look at the bottom where they're using clip art from Children Shouldn't Play with Dead
Yeah.
Things.
What a weird. I guess maybe they just didn't have something that would print right and newsprint from that ad. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, this one's certainly more sensational.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Wow, literally.
Yeah.
That's it. See, she's passed out. But look, they have Udo Kier as Dracula.
Yeah,
pictured
that's
in
what I
the
was
ad.
wondering. It's like Warhol would be either tickled or enraged.
Paul Morrissey would have something to say about it too.
Oh, yeah.
Warhol probably wouldn't give a shit. Paul Morrissey would, though. Or I don't know. I don't know if this was even really illegal because they sent that press book to the newspaper.
Yeah.
So they used images in it, just not for the movie they sent it for. Oh,
Like
that was all.
the inset picture of that lady putting her hands on her face, like, oh, it's too much.
Yeah, I know where those screamers are from, but I just can't place it.
Oh.
So look what this is. Instead of Thirsty Dead, it's
Yeah,
Thursday
Thursday
Dead.
Dead. Wow.
I mean, that's better by the Sunday Dead. They're really starting to stink. So the
Yeah.
Thursday Dead ain't so bad.
No.
Oh, wait, I should have gone. I should have another set lined up. I have so many ads to share with this.
Yeah,
Sorry if I
that's
was
why I'm
being pushy
excited
about.
about this movie.
Yeah, it's just like there was this abundance of stuff that popped out at me, and of course, I have to have everything.
Oh,
This movie had an alternate title in the UK.
yeah.
It was called Dracula's Virgin Lovers.
And that Venom is not the Venom. That's Legend of the Spider Forest that it played with.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. What a wild double feature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I like how they spelled Sylvia Christel's name.
I was waiting to point it out.
Yeah, I love it. Super
Sylvia
Chick's really
Crystal.
good too. So like, this is what was playing at the Saturday morning children's film show at 10 a.m. after these movies that were all X-rated, and they're like, oh, you know what? Just bring your kids. That tomorrow we'll have it cleaned up by 10 a.m. Leaf asked, was that Marilyn Burns from Chainsaw? A few ads back in that those
Oh, yeah.
screamers. That's probably who it was. Yeah.
Was she ever depicted in the ads for TCM?
I don't
Yes, she
think so.
was.
Hmm. Ooh, look how beautiful this is. I like this look.
This is all about the fonts.
Yeah, this is a font heavy ad.
Ooh, and that little drive-in theater box.
Yeah.
I love seeing things like that. This one's crazy.
Yeah. Teach me. Oh,
Teach me. I don't think it's Come Teach Me.
no, it's just I got excited, but yeah. All the libertines, liberties, sorry, the liberties the scream will allow. Wow. And then the dragon will explode in Superman 2. The Rex Danforth Theater sounds like an actor's name. Starring Rex Danforth in color.
So this was 5 movies.
Yeah.
5 giant hits. Wow.
I love it.
That's a hell of a night. That's a night orgy.
How much do you love that now, Bill?
This one too.
Yeah.
I
That
can't
now
even
is
choose
so
a favorite.
gorgeous. This ad is gorgeous.
I could talk all night about that now.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh my lord.
Oh.
Oh, what monster could have done this?
Ooh.
Look at Dracula in this ad.
Yeah.
Hey, and Night of the Living Dead too. Frankenstein's night orgy.
Yeah. What?
I didn't know Frankenstein had a night orgy. Wait a minute. I
Do you
never
like,
noticed this.
do you like that they put Batman and Robin in the Super Cops? Like, because that's what their code names were, but it's not a Batman and Robin movie. It's really Starsky and Hutch. It was based on that movie. I love that. And then Last House on the Left after those movies, like what a weird lineup.
Truly.
Oh,
Yeah, you didn't see that movie divorced
yeah.
from, those other ones that it always played with, like
Yeah.
The House That Vanished, Don't Look in the Basement.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Oh, this ad.
Stark Terror, Sam. Okay.
The Starkest. Blood curdling.
That's what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah.
Stark
You
Terror.
guys might be terrified and horrified later on as you watch this. Hopefully you're not alone. And if you are, call a friend. Tell them to watch it with you. We're trying to get more people to watch.
How many more of these do I have? Oh, look at this. This is just amazing.
The Thursday Dead's back. Sorry, Thursday Dead, yeah.
That movie is nothing like the title The Thirsty Dead leads you to believe.
No. The Starlight's a great name for a drive-in. That's a solid drive-in name.
If I opened a drive-in, that's what I would call it, the
Oh,
Starlight Drive-In.
yeah. Ooh,
Okay, House of the Seven Corpses.
kind of girl you can
Dracula's
see.
Great Love. Well, this is kind of interesting because it's not playing with Vampire's Night Orgy in this one.
No,
It's just kind of like, doing its own thing. It's swinging.
yeah,
That's
like
okay.
yeah, different strokes for the
Eh,
night.
I mean, it's not like Vampire's Night Orgy can take the moral high ground in
No,
that situation.
nope. They talked out. They talked out their relationship. Hey, speaking of Dracula AD 72,
Keep
that's
going.
for lovers of the occult. Tales of Witness Madness. Okay. Oh my gosh, and Four Flies on Grey Velvet. What a night at the theater. Did I was gonna say they saved the best for last, but I'm not sure because I like all these movies. And they did save the best for last though.
Of
But
course they did,
of
yeah.
course they did.
Mimsy
Oh,
Farmer would be
oh.
what you remembered when you went
Hey,
home that night.
imagine like you're getting ready to leave and it's like almost dawn and Minzy Farmer's freaking out and then she gets drugged down the street and you're like, what did I just witness? And then yeah.
Then you gotta drive home.
Don't you love telling
Sun's coming up.
normal people about what Four Flies on Grey Velvet's about and try to see if they understand it all? They're like, "What? It's about a
I don't think
camera?"
it's difficult. It's
Yeah,
really difficult.
yeah. Ooh, Cemetery Girls. Yeah.
Mhm.
Isn't that uh who isn't that a famous actress in this? Vanity?
Oh, some of the ads have Apollonia
Apollonia.
Kotero in them.
That's what I
I'm
thought.
not
Yeah.
sure if that's Apollonia or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is from the resurrection of Dracula's Great Love. It came back in 1979 when horror was huge. They just put this out, and even though it was a really old movie by that point, I mean, 1979 was the year of Alien, Prophecy, Phantasm, and then here comes Count Dracula's Great Love to compete with it under the
You know who I bet came to the brewery to
guy.
see this?
U of M grad Steve King?
Yes,
No
I bet he
way.
was there. He's like, "I've already seen Count Dracula's Great Love. They screwed me. I'm gonna rate Salem's Lot." And there, you guys know the rest of the story. That's not
Stephen King had a real attitude about low budget movies.
he did.
He only liked low budget movies that he liked, and everybody else's low budget movie was going to lead to the downgrading of cinema. And
And
okay, so he was right, but still,
yeah,
who's he to say?
yeah. Come on, Steve King, be cool.
Grave Desires was, of course, Vampire's Night Orgy.
Yeah.
So this was literally the same double feature that they released in
Can
1979.
you imagine like you like, well, we already saw the first movie. We haven't seen Grave Desires, and then it starts like we've seen both these movies. Let's go home, kids.
Roger, yes, the costume changes should be a drinking game, but then nobody would come back for the third segment.
Yeah. Oh,
Pittsburgh.
yeah. I love it. Now showing at the Fulton Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Grave Desires.
Cemetery Girls play
Oh,
the Fulton Theater,
oh.
and here it is as Second Banana. Only Cemetery Girls, mind you.
Yeah.
Now the co-feature is Vampire Playgirls,
Ooh.
which is The Devil's Nightmare.
Yeah. Wow. A whole night of movies that promise to be something else, but are something you may have already seen.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
You might think that was Vampire Hookers, but it wasn't. 'Cause of
no.
course, that was my first thought, was that was a retitling
Yeah.
of Vampire Hookers. There was another retitling of Vampire Hookers, and I don't know, maybe it came close to that, but this was definitely The Devil's Nightmare, or not. Because see, here's the thing about these titles. They could be any movie, really.
Yeah, it wasn't
And
Graveyard Tramps, another one that NPM did is like a lot of other titles too.
Graveyard Tramps, yeah, that was well, no, Grave Desires was the one that they used to reissue Brides of Blood.
Wow.
That Blood Island Killer Tiki Tree movie.
Yeah.
That came out as Grave Desires, but it wasn't like they sent out with the title card for Grave Desires cut into it.
Yeah.
So, like if they ran out of the other movie, they would just cut in a title. I don't know. It was
There's some Wes Craven at the Gateway. How about that?
I know. That's a big idea to get used to.
Yeah. Oh, Around the World with Johnny Holmes at the Greater Pittsburgh #2. And we got Castle of Fu Manchu, Horror of Dracula, and Curse of Frankenstein. How about Apocalypse Now and The Shining? By the way, cartoons before these two, these two like destructive movies. These two
Oh my
dark
God, yeah.
movies. But we got cartoons at 7, so bring the kids. And then
That's a long night at the movies too.
also the Wexford Starlight's wild because they're like, we're the backwards dependable because they're like, we'll play an X movie after 2R movies.
I don't know, like just marketing these even as softcore porn
Yeah.
is really pushing it, I think.
Yeah. That's wild. Oh, Today in the City.
Yeah,
Good
there
guys
is.
wear black. Hell yeah.
God, think of when there were all these theaters downtown.
Oh, I know.
Well,
You can see
Kingsport is
Battlestar
downtown.
Galactica in the theater, Bill, at Gateway. How about that? That's
That's
so
right across the
crazy.
street from where I work now,
Yeah.
the Gateway.
And Rocky Horror at King's Court, of course. Oh, King's Court.
Manhattan,
Oh,
widescreen.
it's amazing.
They had to extend the screen in the Squirrel Hill Theater to
Oh,
accommodate Manhattan.
oh man. What a time to be alive.
Okay, so we're back to the brewer. All
Yeah,
right.
what is
No.
Death Driver? John asks.
It's an action movie.
Oh.
I don't know off the top of my head because I looked it up once when I found that ad because I didn't know. It was nothing that it was really on my radar at the time, so I just kind of like didn't think about it anymore. I don't remember what movie
How
that
about
is.
how about when this movie was released in England as Dracula's Virgin Lovers? It was cut to 66 minutes.
They
And
were
it
so
was
virgin, even after the
yeah,
movie
and
was
then
over.
yeah, England's no, please no. Then Italy it was released as The Diabolical Loves of Nosferatu, Virgin Lovers in Thailand, and Orgy of Dracula in Mexico, which is a good title. One of the things
Ooh,
I learned about this bill is that the shoot was plagued with problems. There was a car accident that caused a head injury to one of the actors. Crew members were injured when scenery fell on them, and a chemical used in the special effects scenes turned out to be toxic. It sickened both Ingrid Garbo and Murda Miller. While everybody was recovering from their injuries, that's when Naschy and the director made Hunchback of the Morgue. While everybody was healing up, which seems pretty wild. By the time they finished filming Hunchback, they returned to work. And the underground cellars in this movie were shot in an old bunker under the headquarters of the Republican Army for the Spanish Civil War.
wow.
Yeah. So some on this.
Sammy, you disappeared. There you are.
Yeah, here we are. But I love I don't want to this sounds negative, off-brand Dracula movies. You know what I mean? That aren't Hammer and Universal maybe is the way to say it. Like how do other people treat Dracula? And that's a thing that I love.
Yeah, it's always really interesting. And it was something that I didn't like when I was a kid,
Yeah.
but I love it now
Yeah.
that I have a more open mind. And I really dig it. This is like, I don't know. Again, it's somebody else's interpretation of, Lon Chaney, Universal monster movies. And it's so silly. It's extremely silly. So there's always a camp factor
Yeah.
involved with these. Not in a negative way.
Huh. Seems like you're thirsty.
Yeah, I think it's time. Sorry, I was like babbling on and on.
Count Dracula's Great Love. His Great Love, a lot of people don't know. What is whiskey? Whiskey. Anywho, a lot of whiskey in this. 2 ounces of whiskey, 2 ounces of cherry syrup, half an ounce of simple syrup, half an ounce of lime juice, and a cherry.
One little cherry.
One little cherry when you're done. We're going to put this in a shaker. I'm going with Jack Daniels. That's the most vampiric of all whiskeys. And maraschino cherries. This is a terrifying drink. Drink it at your own risk.
They always drink your drinks at their own risk.
Yeah, I know. All right. Look at this Dracula goblet. It's like we're in Transylvania.
Cherry.
It's like going to the
I
bathroom.
put it on the spoon for a reason.
Oh, man.
And Mr. Gorilla Hands. Can't have nothing nice.
Hello, Pazuzu. Can't have nothing. Wait, I gotta drink it like this.
Pinky up.
Pinky up. No, it's. Here we go. Pazuzu. Oh, it's really nice. It's very cherryish, as it should be.
Oh, sorry, I took it off
Got a
too
really
soon.
Nice, clean taste to it. Sorry, it's just me
All right,
babbling about which I like to drink.
I didn't mean to cut off Robot Sam.
Robot Sam is pleased.
Cheers, everybody.
Pazuzu, everybody.
Pazuzu.
So
I just poured myself another Coke and poured a little Kraken in it.
that's the best drink. I think that's a solid drink. El Gran Amor Conde Dracula. That's what we're about to watch. Count Dracula's Great Love. What is his great love?
Women.
Women. Go figure. He loves the
And he has a
ladies.
certain type too. You'll
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
You'll notice it right off the bat.
I also said about this movie is like, what do vampire women do all day? Lick blood off each other and whip people. So if that's what you're coming to a movie for, good news. You're gonna get it.
That's mystifying, the connection between vampirism and whipping.
Yeah. They love it.
WTF.
Yeah. Female vampires. I love
Armando de Osorio did that, remember?
Yeah.
Those vampires in the in Malenka's castle. Where
Yeah.
There was the one that was whipping another one, and she turned around and showed vampire fangs. Why?
I like the Spanish poster for this, which is on the YouTube link that you gave, because the Dracula's fangs are gigantic on it. They're like beyond gigantic. So
Dracula's in it to win it. He's not just fucking around.
he's like, I'm here. When I say I'm going to bite your neck, I'm going to bite your neck. Like, I'm doing it. So, is this the movie that young Steve King saw and wrote his own vampire movie about? No, but it is a vampire movie, and it is enjoyable, and it's got Paul Naschy in it, and that's what we're here for tonight. We should, before we start the next movie, tease you for next week's movies. We got 2 movies next week. What shall
They're both stop motion classics.
Yes. Stop motion week next week. Bill and I will be appearing as claymation characters. We're being animated right now. But
it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. If you donate enough, you can see us as stop motion.
No, you will not see us as claymation if you make a donation.
No. You'll just feel good about yourself. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So go to the link that I have on Groovy Doom on the Facebook page, or just search. But no, use the link that I provided on Groovy Doom, please, because there's so many shitty versions of this movie up on YouTube. I picked the very best one that I could. So seek it out, watch it, come back afterwards. 3rd segment. Should I do it shirtless? I don't know.
I will if you will.
Deal.